everyone, and welcome to the first Clubhouse meeting of New Europe's meetings industry, Ljubljana Talks. My name is Gorazd Čad, and I'm editor-in-chief of Congress magazine. And here today with me is my colleague and friend Jan Oršič, director of Ljubljana Convention Bureau. For today's conversation, we choose the topic high tech or high touch. We will not talk about high space technologies or the general state of mind, but about what events and the meetings industry will look after the corona crisis. We will pay special attention to marketing and social networks. Yeah. As a passionate musician and rock and roll soul, Jan will certainly spice up the debate with some of out-of-the-box ideas and creative thinking. Jan, I suggest that you start and you explain a little bit what is your opinion about the current state of the industry and about the zeitgeist here in Ljubljana.
Well, Gorazd, I think that, us doing a podcast on a new social media is a zeitgeist kind of a window already. I think that, if I just go a step back first and say that, saying high tech or high touch, right now we are all high tech because this is our reality. This is the true fact is that we have to be present. We have to be present via digital forum. And, this is now how we get together. Our business is to create events, to create unforgettable experiences, to bring people together, to make them connect one another, to create a planet, a global village in a way, to know people from all corners of the world. And yet right now we're in a situation where, we are talking through digital media, we are talking through different platforms. And I think that is the zeitgeist. I think that this is in a way an experiment, but at the same time it is a hardcore fact that we have to adapt and bring us into a different kind of way of doing business and working together. And it's very exciting to be frank, And you asked me about the zeitgeist of Ljubljana and how do I see it. I think Ljubljana is just one of the destinations with exactly the same problem. Because now it's not a situation where you say, oh yeah, this is a specific destination, they have a challenge. No, it's a global thing. We are a part of a global situation that will bring forward the global revolution in a way that of course has to start with us. And I have to stop here and say I don't like the word revolution. I prefer evolution. Because a revolution is turn of a 360 degrees back to the same spot. So we need evolution. We need the high tech and high touch. Both of them.
I totally agree. I believe in this hybrid solution which goes with that. And when we analyze the market, what is opinion of people in this industry about it, there is certain percent of people who believes that the high tech will stay with us, and they are quite happy with that. Mainly probably introverts and people who like being home or work from home. On the other side, around 60% said that it's okay, and they are looking forward for these old times. But in reality, it will be a hybrid model, in my personal opinion. And this is what I can comment on high tech and versus high touch. Yeah.
I would agree. I think it's like this. Right now, all we have is high tech, but we all want the high touch.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you think about it, it's a situation where we have a position where to say we are going to go back to the old as it was to the point. I think that's irresponsible. Yeah. Like I said, it's a thing of an evolution. I think hybrid events are actually the solution because it's not just about extrovert, introvert. It's not about this preference or that preference. I think it's about optimization. I think it's about putting the cost-benefit calculation on the table and saying, okay, do I want to spend, I don't know, 4 flights, 4 airplane tickets, 2 days to do a meeting somewhere. Is it really worth my time? Or, sometimes if it's just a pitch, it's enough to go on a Zoom or any other platform and do that same pitch digitally, because now what I find extremely exciting is the taboo is gone.
Yeah.
The taboo is gone. I'm sure you had the same feeling. Years ago, we would be at a conference and somebody would be saying hello digitally, and everybody would say, "Oh, that's like so lame. He didn't want to come. Oh, he's so busy. There's 1,000 of us here at the conference, and he's speaking. Oh, I'm so sorry, I cannot be with you." Yeah. But now this is like, oh yeah, Zoom, no problem. You didn't want to come, that's fine. The conversation is that we have shifted. The evolution is here in a way, in that mental perception of what is digital communication.
So you believe that, Jan, that this digital sector will stay with us? I personally believe, because there were huge investments behind, and these companies really developed fast in the last year, and this sector will stay with us probably. What is your idea about it? I mean,
looking at how meetings and events are evolving right now, I think yes. I think this is definitely a part of our future. I think that one thing is how much money has been invested into the companies that do digital events, that do digital screening, and all the connections. That's one part of the equation. The other part is the equation that as an organizer of an event, you can reach a completely different audience, a broader public. We would know of events now that instead of having a couple of thousand participants, they would open up the event digitally, and they had 4 times or 5 times the participation. And at the end of the day, because they were charging a lot, this is I think that moment of, oh, this year everything is free of charge is gone. They actually created a better legacy for an event, and they created value for the association, if we're talking about the association market now. And this is something that we have to take in consideration. We have to be, as a destination, we as service providers, as our partners, we have to understand that the needs are different. People will want to communicate online. People will want to, have everything available, even if they cannot go somewhere. And sometimes they will not be able to go somewhere. Or as a gentleman told me not that long ago, and I quote now, the whole situation is not that bad, because in the morning I do a meeting in Japan, then I go for lunch to home, and then in the evening I have a meeting in America.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect.
How much time gets lost, and this is him commenting, how much time he loses on the airplane, where he is out of touch, the airports, the jet lags, the lost luggage, and all the costs, No,
I totally agree. Last year I felt like that there was a burned out of our whole industry. Actually, there was too many. There were too many events all over the world, and the quality was not always good. And we need to really ask ourselves why we meet, why we come together. And we come from that point to the question about sustainability. And I'm a big believer in so-called second-tier destinations like Ljubljana, for example. Yeah. There are many reasons why I believe that. We will probably talk about it, and you are the right person to comment this. But basically, my personal wish and idea is, let's make events better. This is a quote again from somebody else, but basically, I personally really believe in that. Yeah. Let's make the whole industry better. Let's make the marketing better. And that's what we will talk about today. How to make marketing of meetings industry better. More efficient. How to make events better. So this is what comes to my mind every single time. And sustainability is not a joke. And it was always here, Ljubljana took this seriously for a long time. for 10 years, I can say, or even more. Even more. And now it comes, everything comes in place.
Yeah. I mean, Ljubljana is an exciting destination because I think, like you said, it's a second-tier city, yes. It's a city with 300,000 inhabitants, yes. So it's, it goes into middle-sized cities or small cities even. But one thing that is very interesting during the past year and a half, it has proven it has a very high quality of life. And this is actually something that is extremely important because when we talk about sustainability, there is a very strong connection between the actions that have been taken by the municipality, the investments, the vision, and how these reflect for a destination, also through a marketing point of view, to be attractive. So not just in a way that this is a destination that has all the basic facilities, the Congress Center, the hotels, yes. But I think the detail is different. It's like talking, the question is not if every 4-star hotel room has a toilet, because it does. We know it's there. The question is, what is the added value? What is the other service? What is the special feature?
You're right. Yeah.
And this is where Ljubljana has been able to position itself extremely effectively in the past couple of years, because the delegates will do the extended stay. They will spend in Ljubljana to have the experience, even though sometimes the experience is not actually, you don't have to pay sometimes. Like the water fountains around the city, we have 40 fountains around the city.
40.
Well, 44 to be exact.
Oh, wow.
And
I didn't know that.
It's free water, and it's high quality water, and it's better than any bottled water, but it's a point that it makes that the experience of the destination is different. It gives you something extra. And that is very relevant in our case, because now that we are looking at the post-pandemic world, everybody's saying, everybody will now go to nature. My question is, who is actually now that population of people who did not go to nature before, but a year and a half later or 2 years later, suddenly wants to spend all their time in the forest? I haven't identified that population. I believe that what we are talking about in terms of marketing of destinations, in terms of marketing in the events industry, is that we have to adapt the product, and we have to emphasize the quality of the experience. And nature does not necessarily mean something that is outside of the city. It means fresh air, it means better air condition, it means windows, it means things that make your life feel more connected to nature, but not necessarily roaming around, a wet forest in the middle of winter, because now it's, your conference is taking place, but now you have to find the delegate somewhere in the forest. I mean, we have loads of forests, but I don't think that definition of the experience is really correct. I think
what comes to my mind, actually, I'm thinking non-stop that the benchmark now is, at least for me, so-called digital nomads benchmark, let's say. So cities which are open to digital nomads are quite good for meetings too, in my personal opinion.
Absolutely.
And this is the new reality, and we should benchmark in that direction, not in old school way, So airport accessibility, blah blah blah. This was quite important before the crisis, but now we need to talk about different things.
Now you're opening a Pandora's box. That's how I see it, because once you start talking about the digital nomads, you're talking about something that has popped up really on the scene with the pandemic. You're talking about people who have a great income and can do their job from anywhere they want to. So now the question is not, is your destination the most tourist attractive? The question is your destination attractive to those that choose it to live in it?
Exactly.
Because they can live anywhere. So we are now in competition with Bali, we're in competition with San Francisco, if you want, whatever you want to name. The global competition. And in terms of global competition, I think this is where we are very strong. Because with global nomads, and we've been doing analysis already of the market, is the first thing is you have to identify those who are time constrained. So, for instance, if your job is such that you have to be online at the time when your when your projects come in or whatever, let's say in the same time zone, that limits them down. So, for instance, for Ljubljana, European digital nomad is a great one. We are in the right time zone. We are easily accessible by car. There's a lot of places you can go, and tax policies and the whole movement within the Schengen zone, it's what it is. So it's very easy. In terms of attracting those who are not time zone limited, that is a slightly different story then, because then they are really picking the whole global situation. So how do you pick your destination depends also on do you like warm weather or do you like cold weather? Do you like fish or do you like meat? This or do you like Chinese or Korean or do you like Slovenian food?
Absolutely agree with that. I mean, it comes to my mind again that somehow we can attract people who will organize events for 10,000 and more digital people around the world. So
why not?
Can imagine that, So if you have a kind of hub for such people, that would be a great marketing idea. So
I think the hubs are there, and I think a lot of the people who are very digitally savvy are already picking this up. I think they are present at events and conferences without the necessity to go there. But to ask you, because this is really your expertise, is because if we're talking about digital marketing and destination marketing and the media, how do you see the media change? I can talk for hours about that, but basically, still the good old content is the king or the queen, whatever you like. So definitely, without content, you cannot do anything. I was at one big show in Croatia this weekend, so it was a rally competition. And still the competition is the most important thing. But what they are doing around the World Rally Championship is a brand which is so strong, and we can absolutely learn a lot about digital marketing from companies like Red Bull and so on. So basically, we are not so good in that kind of marketing. Just to start with, merchandising. This really do not exist in our business. Micro-billing, selling pieces of good content later on, selling access on a yearly basis to our clients coming to events. So we need to completely renovate the events we are doing. If you organize events on a yearly basis, then you need to reshape the event. Create more events around the big event you do, and this is how the world is moving now, and this is difficult for old school meeting planners. Nothing wrong with them, but basically you cannot sell anymore to the sponsor, for example, a golden and silver package. Nobody will buy that anymore. So we must be more clever, and we have so many opportunities in digital planet, on social media, but without a good content, it will simply not work. And what I would like to add on the top of it is that we must change the way how we sell. Push marketing simply do not work anymore. But we are still pushing. We are still organizing fan trips. We are still pushing that we are the best destination in the world. But in reality, it must be a certain kind of reciprocity behind. I will give you something and you will give me something back. At the end, you will come probably to live event, which is the ultimate goal of somebody organizing events. But we are happy even if you will just look one piece of content we produce for you, one simple presentation, or you will take something from the website for your daily practice. So we have so many opportunities, and this is what I like, and I see this as a revolution,
or let's say so, evolution.
Evolution.
So yeah, so I really do not believe that this situation is bad in terms of marketing. It will change a lot how we are selling destinations, how we are selling our events, how we market ourselves.
You know,
but that's good.
If you think about it, you know, the meetings industry is as old as humanity, because it is basically bringing people together to exchange knowledge and, you know, socialize. And the socializing part is the key of humanity in a way. It creates us social beings. But if you think about it, it's like music. You know, how do you sell music when there's no concerts? And the music industry has created a world where the musicians lived, because right now they're not, solely on the concerts. The concert is the income generator. So right now the situation is horrible. But there are those who are actually making a killing because they can do an online event. They will invest because they have enough money still in the bank to invest, to create an event which is attractive.
What about your band, Jan?
Oh, my band. My band is waiting for the live concerts.
Okay, I got it. Yeah.
But I'm talking about the bigger guys. You know, you have, it's the same crisis that we are experiencing. Whether is it, you know, the incentive for 10 people that the company wants to really push and create a wow event? Is it a conference for 50, 100, 1,000 delegates? Or is it even a musical event? There are, of course, differences, don't get me wrong. I'm not putting everything in the same basket, but the challenge is the same. You cannot have people from different sources coming together. And, you know, who adapted? Who is creating the online event? Who is profiting from it? That model is the model that is gonna stay, because why would a band that can create an event online in between the concerts? Let's say you have, you know, there are certain seasonalities also for the concert business. Why would they not, in between of those concerts, put in the digital show? Keep on doing it.
It's exactly the same what I said before.
Getting out there, getting new faces, getting new people interested in that product. Because, you know, even now we're using a platform that has an amazing possibility, you know, but right now it's limited to a certain type of technology.
Definitely.
So if we are back to the topic, you know, how do you see the high tech versus the high touch in this case?
Yeah, I mean, definitely they will open. Probably this is more or less a technological issue. That's how I understand the situation. I heard that they will open the app for Android users in May already. So basically they are testing. This is still a beta version of the software, but it's amazing how is this interesting in line with this exclusivity they created at the beginning. I don't know if this was by purpose or not. So you know what I mean. So basically, to connect the whole Clubhouse to the iPhone, to the certain type of technology, it's quite exclusive. So maybe that was a tactic or strategy. I don't know. I don't know the background of this whole technology.
I don't want to speculate on that one.
But definitely economy of scale is always the name of the game of any social media. So I don't believe it will stay exclusive like it is now. So what I like about Clubhouse, if I can comment, is that I really then focus on words, on content. If I listen to Clubhouse, if I listen to other media, of course, there are so many, you know, things coming to my head that it's too much. So that's why I like podcasts and Clubhouse as it is, you know. But to be frankly speaking, at this moment, I don't know how this will influence on the meetings and events. I don't have idea, to be honest with you.
It's interesting because I actually attended an online event that, you know, first it was based on a platform, and then for the hangout bit was done on the Clubhouse. And I think it's just shows how different technologies are starting to get connected one with another.
Yeah.
And just like a live event is getting more connected to the digital, I mean, everybody has the Zoom fatigue. Everybody has enough of talking to someone just through the screen. But there are certain practicalities that are very handy. And, you know, keeping those and ditching the other, I think there is a great potential for development of this.
But you know what is totally interesting to me? Working with, on a daily basis with clients, still we need to convince them that it's not so easy to organize hybrid event or professional digital event. We have all this technology which is easy peasy, kind of. So it's always they always promote all the technologies. It's super easy to use. No, 3 steps and you will go to heaven. Actually, so it's like that. But in reality, to produce a serious conference, it's not so easy. And now it's a learning process in front of us. We need to learn how to actually use this on a professional level. So a lot of work to do also on that field.
And this is, you know, this is the question. You are one of the organizers of Conventa.
Yes.
So how do you see Conventa and Conventa crossover taking place this year? Yeah,
I mean, this is the right time, you know, because we just produced free let's say so, letters to our stakeholders, and we will announce this in the following days. We have a clear policy. We have now a Conventa semaphore, if you want to. That's how we call it. It depends on the pandemic situation. So in a black version, it will be digital. But anyhow, Conventa will take place in August. Anyhow. But we believe at this particular moment it will be hybrid for sure, because we are close to so-called yellow phase here in Slovenia or in this part of Europe. Obviously, also the vaccination will take better pace than now. So we believe Conventa will take place. But then we have a whole strategy and philosophy how to make Conventa safe. This is #SafeConventa. So if you will follow that in the following days, we will explain everything. And we follow the rules by the Dutch guys, by the colleagues from Field Lab. We translated some of the conclusions of the research, use it for our purpose, and it will be a showcase how to organize safe events. Then we have also the third part, which is connected to the buyers. I believe in this from my first days, professional days. Act globally, think globally, act locally. This is what comes to place now. After so many years, after almost 30 years when I finished my studies. So basically, we believed with Conventa in this regional market. And at a certain point, it was a little bit crazy. A lot of people pushed on me, Gorazd, why you should go globally? Why are you really so focused on region? Now, you know, everything comes to place.
The region will come together. I think it will work.
These are free fields, you know, and then I can talk for hours about Conventa. We don't have enough time for that.
But it's very exciting because I don't know this stuff. So, you know, it's always good to get new information and the whole idea of how an event is going to take place in Ljubljana, because I think it's going to be one of the first events. It was also one of the last.
Yeah, that's
to
correct.
Make that
that's correct.
You know, we had that Conventa still in.
We were lucky last year.
2019.
Yeah, we were super lucky.
Was it 2020? No,
2020. January 2020. Yeah.
Was it 2020? Oh, yeah, of course. It feels so long since we've been in all these lockdowns. And
definitely. But we are quite proactive, actually. We are working on a daily basis. We are in connection with buyers really on a daily basis, and receiving a lot of feedbacks non-stop, and that's how we adapt, and that's how we develop the whole project.
Perhaps we need to explain to any listeners that don't know what Conventa is. Yeah. It's a trade show. So
exactly, it's a trade show. We used to say that it's the biggest in so-called New Europe. which is Eastern Europe, generally speaking. It's really a little bit different. It's a kind of we call it it's Conventa experience, because in this part of Europe we are always open, friendly, and we believe that this joy of life is also important. So this is also about what I can say about Conventa. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and it's a really good example. I think that Conventa, when the innovation bit is a key to the whole event, because if you think of just the wooden boxes of how the whole thing was set up and all the green practices, you know, there's a lot of trade shows that are gone, that will never happen again. But Conventa, you know, fingers crossed.
Well, we are coming to the end of this first Ljubljana talk. Yeah. Now it's time, of course, for your questions. If you want to ask anything, raise your hand, then we will include you into the debate. And please, of course, turn off the microphone while others speaks. This is important because you know, that's how the system works. So if there is anybody who wants to ask anything, we are free to. Yeah, you're free to join. Yeah.
You know, you can just comment on whatever was interesting today, or any topic that we kind of touched on. Just tell us what was interesting, what perhaps could be the topic for the next session, as we plan to do this on a regular basis, probably 14 days, something like that.
Yeah, 14 days, that's the idea. Yeah.
And the challenge is, of course, getting the right topics through. So any ideas would be welcome. Top. And you can also find us on email and whatever, and just let us know if you have any thoughts. I think there's a lot of topics that we can cover. Yeah. I think, you know, we talked about this briefly before, and, you know, there's the question about the entire region. There's the question about the situation in Europe. There's the questions about, you know, technology. There's the questions about associations. There's the questions about the incentive market, the corporate in general. Even leisure tourism here comes into mind, because it is a very important generator of content, and it motivates a lot of suppliers to kind of balance off, you know, the more seasonal, in a way, you know, to extend the seasons and to balance off perhaps the focus onto the MICE industry, or perhaps just switching to one. There's really a lot of possibilities here.
Definitely. Yeah. And we will cover this in the next
Oh, absolutely.
Ljubljana talks.
Yeah.
So we'd like to thank you all for attending the first Ljubljana talk. We will meet again in 14 days, as we promised, when Jan and I will bring the first guest to the studio. Yeah. Thank you very much, and see you, or not see you.
Talk to you
soon.
Yeah. Bye. Bye-bye.